Hello, everyone. I'm Dara Bunjon. I'm the food enthusiast here at J Moore Living. I'm a food writer, food stylist, PR maven, and a very frustrated baker. If you have any questions for today's guest or for me, please feel free to post them in the comments section here on Facebook's J Moore Living's Facebook page. I will check it from time to time. You'll see me turn my head, so I'll look for any questions. After the show has aired, it will go up in video format on the J Moore Living Facebook page and jmooreliving.com. Today's guest is Shani Seidman, Chief Marketing Officer for Kayco Kosher. It's the leading kosher food distributor in America, and as old as the tradition of keeping a kosher home is, there are innovations for our times. As Shani has stated, during the holiday, no bread or leavened grain can be eaten, so Passover food has special certification. Caico is proud to offer the most robust portfolio of kosher for Passover products that blend the traditional with the innovative. Welcome, Shani.
Thank you,
There
Dara.
she
Thank
is.
you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So what's on your plate today other than the show?
I have a couple more interviews, and we are gearing up for our holiday, our Passover season. I always say Passover is our Super Bowl, and we work on it 12 months a year. So this is really crunch time, no pun intended. Actually, pun always intended. So we are really gearing up to get ready for the holiday. And finally, after Passover starts, I can take a nap.
Well, if you were an accountant and doing this, you'd really be in trouble. What a season you
Exactly.
would be having.
That
And I
reminds me, I
thank
have to
you.
do my taxes.
Thank you for finding the time to squeeze us in. J Moore Living is contemporary living, though the people who watch the show are all over, and it doesn't have to be about Jewish food, but this is timely with Passover coming up. And I was really surprised at the innovation that you've had. You know, I let's talk before I forget. I looked at your LinkedIn, and your background is you attended a yeshiva college, the Fashion Institute, and the School for Visual Arts. Tell us about your background in marketing and what led you to Chief Marketing Officer for Kayco Kosher.
So at FIT, I studied branding, advertising, and graphic design, and that led me here. So 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, I started working in kosher food marketing. I started as a branding and graphics person for a kosher food company. And since then, I've worked at the Manischewitz company. I led their marketing efforts for a few years. And then when Kayco bought the brand in 2019, I transitioned the business, and now I have the honor, and it's super fun. I get to market all their great kosher food brands.
And that's great. I mean, in delving into this, and we were talking a little bit earlier, how vast the selection is. Um, what I did know about, because I don't particularly keep kosher, but it's someplace that I will be checking out, is kosher.com, which is part of the Kayco Kosher. What is kosher.com, and what can people expect on kosher.com in the way of products and recipes as we approach Passover?
Yeah, so kosher.com is an amazing resource for all things kosher. You do not need to keep kosher to enjoy all the resources on kosher.com. We have over 10,000 recipes. We have original video and show content. We have lifestyle articles. We have kosher education. So if you do want to learn more about kosher, you can go to kosher.com to do that. And what I love about kosher.com is it is tailor-made for a kosher lifestyle, so that you don't have to go to a recipe and say, well, I don't eat this and I can't eat that. This is really for a kosher seeker and keeper to go explore the delight of keeping kosher.
For those, like I said, it isn't a totally kosher Jewish
Mhm.
audience that watches the show.
Absolutely.
But for the people, what's the difference between keeping kosher and keeping kosher for Passover?
So keeping kosher, those who say they keep kosher 365 days a year. They have a kosher kitchen and they separate meat and dairy. And when they go to restaurants, they go to exclusively kosher restaurants. And that is why there's so many kosher products now, because it's become a lifestyle, really keeping kosher. And on Passover, there's many more restrictions, but also beautiful rituals and beautiful things and traditions to keep over the holiday. So when someone keeps kosher for Passover or celebrates Passover, they are attending a Seder maybe with friends and family, and with their Jewish friends and family or non-Jewish friends and family, and they're eating matzah and they're eating bitter herbs and charoset. A lot of these things symbolize part of the Passover story, the Exodus from Egypt, and many traditions that came about, like brisket or matzo ball soup. That's just good old-fashioned Jewish comfort food that anyone can enjoy. So when you keep kosher for Passover, you're attending a Seder. You're not eating bread that is left more than 18 minutes in the oven, and you are celebrating the holiday and observing the holiday of Passover.
Right. And just because you don't want any products that have leaven bread in
Right.
it.
So
Right.
when the
So,
flour and water mix, you have 18 minutes. I don't know if you've heard that magical number, but
no, but
it's
it's like chai, isn't it? The chai?
yeah. So 18 is very symbolic, right? Chai, life. Chai, the Hebrew letters in Chai numerically equal 18, and so that's why 18 is such a significant number. And the bread, the flour, and water, when they are mixed together, you have 18 minutes from the time they touch to when it's fully baked to cook your matzah. More than 18 minutes, it's not considered kosher for Passover.
So, if you want to spend the whole time watching the oven for 18 minutes, when you can get matzah from Manischewitz.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw any of the stories I put up, if anybody gave you a link to that.
I want you to take a look. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're archived, but I found the Manischewitz song, and I put that up with my story. Now I know how to spell Manischewitz.
We have an archive. We have like a museum here of all the archives in Manischewitz. I love digging in because it kind of just takes you down memory lane of Jewish food in America the past 130 years.
Right. As Chief Marketing Officer, I noticed that you bring a more modern way of thinking about kosher products. How has your innovation driven the new products for Caico Kosher?
So first, I work with a wonderful team, and the owners of this company are innovative and forward-thinking and modern thinking. And I also, as a young mother, I'm not so young, a mother of 3 young children, I really take my lifestyle and my shopping behaviors as inspiration, because I am a kosher keeper 365 days a year, and I take what I know my family wants to eat and explore in food. I take that as inspiration when I think about our customers, because I am them and they are me. So when I see what my kids love eating and what I love making for Shabbat for my families, that drives what I want to innovate and offer our customers.
We were talking for the folks that understand that it might be kosher food. It doesn't mean that you have to keep kosher to eat it. It's available for everyone, and the selection. The macaroons that Manischewitz has, insane. So you were saying that you developed one of the flavors that you just developed. What was it again?
So a few years ago, when I joined Manischewitz, the first year I was there, I took a look at the line of macaroons. And what I loved about the line is that we've always wanted to take a very traditional Passover product and make it innovative and fun. So if go to your retail stores, go to the macaroon aisle, you'll see this almost like we consider ourselves the Baskin Robbins of macaroons, that we love to have these unique flavors like pistachio orange and red velvet, carrot cake. So my first year at Manischewitz, I said, let's continue the trend. It's been a few years. We came out with birthday cake macaroons. There's such a fun packaging, and it just reinvigorates the consumer to enjoy and celebrate the holiday. So the traditions don't have to be stodgy.
Yeah, it was, you were saying also that you have little minis.
Yes, the next year, thanks, Dara. The next year, we came out with mini macaroons. We call them Manny's mini macaroons, and they come in a little cup. Doesn't that make you smile? And they come a little cup, and they're small, and they're bite-sized. The thing about macaroons is that they take a few bites. You have to they kind of pop in your mouth. They could be ice cream toppers. They're made with coconut. They're naturally gluten-free and certified gluten-free. So it really caters to a lot of different dietary needs.
Manischewitz is one of the most recognizable names in kosher. It has been in the comfort food for the soul for over 133 years. What new products will be available for Passover that kicks off April 17th? What can people now find on the shelves that are innovative and new for holidays? And of course, anybody can buy them because they taste good no matter what.
Yeah, so in terms of Manischewitz, obviously, everyone knows the brand. I think it's synonymous with Passover. It's synonymous with comfort foods for the soul. That's our tagline, actually. Again, the comfort food for the soul for anyone who wants to enjoy comfort food. For any customer that just wants to enjoy Jewish dishes, you don't have to be Jewish to enjoy matzah ball soup. So, we talked about matzah. The first product that Manischewitz actually came out with, the reason the brand started in 1888, Rabbi Dov Ber Manischewitz made matzah for his community. So matzah is the traditional dish, and it's actually our first product. So along those lines, over the years, we've come out. We don't have just matzah. We have gluten-free matzah. We have egg matzah, spelt matzah, whole wheat matzah. This year, we came out with a new product, rye matzah. And for those who love, and I know, Dara, this is your favorite one, for those who have a sweet tooth, I don't know if you've ever tried a chocolate-covered pretzel, and that sweet and crunchy and salty. This is amazing. I believe these are the matzah Girl Scout cookies. That's what you called them. This is a mint flavor. We also have dark chocolate and milk chocolate and a gluten-free variety. Again, for those
in all the coated, right? So yeah. After the show, I'm going to dig in. People can see that I have it in the background.
Yeah, once you start, you can't stop. My box disappeared right after I opened it.
Right. So it isn't just, you carry brands like Kedem. Is it Kedem? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, Kedem, grape juice.
Right. They know the products. Other new products, Heaven and Earth. Let's talk about, I have that here. That is no added sugar. So this is new this year?
Yeah, this is new this year, and it's an amazing innovation. It's our first to market kosher for Passover, no added sugar chocolate. And the brand itself, the mission or promise of the brand is that every product that we come out with, if you see the brand, it is better for you, which means it is free of any preservatives, MSG, added colors. We do that we curate this product line for, again, as like a mother for young children. I know that I want my kids to be eating this way, but sometimes you're in a rush. You don't know. You don't want to look at an ingredient list. You can look at this brand and trust that we have a candy line, everything that we come out with is a little better for you, which means the ingredients are simple, easy to read. And this is an example of the one of the new products that we came out with, no sugar added chocolate. It tastes delicious, even for those who are not necessarily looking to reduce their sugar, which I think everyone is at this point, but it is an amazing product. It's great for baking, and it's one of our new innovations for this year.
And you were saying better than something with your horseradish, something new with your horseradish. What's going on with the horseradish?
So Manischewitz came out with, we have a squeezable horseradish line. This year we came out with a new, well, I would say it's nothing, it's new and old, because horseradish is very traditional, and it's actually having a resurgence. I live in the Lower East Side, and I see all these new, like, interesting flavor chips, and like in our farmers market, horseradish is becoming the new it flavor. But for everything, what goes around comes around. It's been a traditional product for many, many years in our, in our cuisine. So we came out with 2 new horseradishes this year, a beet and a white horseradish. Again, just made of the natural radishes, free of any preservatives. So they are, be careful, they're spicy, but if you're enjoying any fish, they are a great addition to the dish.
Right. And let's see. I have here, okay. We were talking slightly earlier, Toscanini. Is that?
Yes, Toscanini. So Toscanini, yeah, I mean, this is what I love about working at Caico and working with all these great brands, because we know that the kosher consumer is not one personality or one size fits all. Everyone has a life. If you keep kosher 365 days a year, and even if you don't, everyone has different needs, and everyone hits the grocery store for different reasons. Kosher Toscanini is a brand that's premium products that are sourced and authentic to Italy. So every product that we make from Italy, that we make for Toscanini, we have a procurement team, and our head of purchasing goes and meets with the suppliers, goes to the region, sees the land that it comes from, and we come out with new products all the time, all year round. Passover is a great time to come out with new products, because this is when we get a lot of new customers coming to the shelf. But these products can be enjoyed all year round by any consumer, anyone who wants to cook with premium ingredients. This is our Calabrian peppers from Calabria. Again, we take a lot of care to notice the region that something comes from, so that we want to make sure that we're getting the best product from the best place. Right. These are actually a Bobby Place favorite. When he cooks with Calabrian peppers a lot. So it's one of our new products for Passover. Again, can be used all year round for any dish.
I look forward to cracking that open as well. Mm-hmm. And we talk a little bit beforehand when we have a chance. Mm-hmm. So you have a very successful cookbook author who's your spokesperson. Absolutely. For Toscanini. Mm-hmm. Danielle Renov.
Mm-hmm. Danielle Renov is, so if you follow Danielle Renov on Instagram, we partner with her to be an ambassador for the brand. She absolutely adores our brand. Like, it's great synergy. It's not the typical ambassador, brand relationship. She absolutely loves our products and genuinely loves cooking with them. So it's just a natural, and we love Danielle. She's amazing. And so it's just a natural, I think she speaks Italian also. It's a natural partnership, and we're so happy.
I think she has 4 or 5 kids. I'm trying to remember. I think I was a little gobsmacked for as young as she was, how many children she had.
Yeah, she's incredible. I think 4 or 5.
Her cookbook, I think, within the first month had sold 43,000 copies.
Yep.
Huge following. Mm-hmm. So there are kosher markets around in different cities. And you can find some of these items there.
Mhm.
Purchasing. I know that Amazon.com has a number of these products.
Yeah.
Any other suggestions where people might be able to purchase these products?
Yes. So we have Amazon.com has thousands of kosher for Passover products from our brands. There's also a great site that we have partnered with Passover.com.
Really?
Passover.com has all these products and more. Staples. We also sell gift Seder in a box, or Seder care packages.
I saw that.
Assorted treat packages if you want to send someone a gift. So Passover.com has like everything you could possibly need for Passover. We send cookbooks with big orders from Kosher.com, and it's a great resource for ordering your Passover needs.
So, I mean, everyone, just check it out. I was really taken back by the great wealth of choices that you have in the products, and especially those who need to be gluten-free, very innovative, new flavors. So go
Yeah,
to
absolutely. No, I want to
Kayco.com.
add there the gluten-free. It's very interesting because I think I mentioned to you before we got on, Passover products are naturally many of them have to be gluten-free because we want to avoid flour in our products. So we're kind of like experts on gluten-free, making gluten-free products as a byproduct of necessity. But because we've been making gluten-free products for so many years, we come out with so many gluten-free products over Passover and for all year round. I know someone in my family is celiac, and for those who really just want to avoid gluten, in general, we have so many gluten-free products available in the kosher aisles.
With Passover a week away, do you have any stories you care to share about the Passover table, your personal stories? I mean, I can tell you, I could barely read Hebrew. They had to type the 4 questions out for me phonetically. Your family stories.
The first thing that comes to mind is the memories, and I think this is true for everybody. I have like visceral memories of us. First of all, let's be honest. There's 4 cups of wine you have to drink before the end of the meal. So even as kids, we weren't drinking the wine, but we were giddy on sugar from the grape juice. And I have these memories of our family at the end of the Haggadah getting so silly and playful with the Haggadah and the songs at the end. We would make up all these hand motions as kids. I'm one of 4 kids, and we used to go out and make up hand motions for all the songs and come back in and act out all of the songs. And it's really like these golden memories I have from the Seder. So that's really what comes to mind when I think of stories. It's really this like golden memory I have from growing up.
Right. You talk about whether it be Christmas or Easter or any holiday when the family joins together and breaks bread. These are memories that live with you forever. And, we hope that everybody's able to enjoy that, but that's not always the case. And, I find I'm more Jewish out of tradition and things that I'm used to and what we did when I was growing up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you could go back to your 18-year-old self and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
So it's interesting because I mentioned I've been in this industry for 10 years, and also my oldest is 10. So it kind of lines up. My career and my motherhood kind of like goes hand in hand. And one thing I would tell myself is like, slow down. And I know it's cliche, but I like enjoy, trust the process, but even more importantly, like enjoy the process, because it's like in a second, you have a 10-year-old. So it's really just slow down and enjoy the ride. I used to get so carried away and not enjoying like part of the journey. The journey is really like what it's all about.
Your daughter was born and then she's 10 years old. Where did time go, right?
I have no idea. I was just at a school yesterday, like for like middle school, and I'm like, oh, what? I'm too young for this. So
Okay, so if you can wake up tomorrow morning with a new talent, what would the new talent be?
Okay, so thank God I have some artistic gifts. I'm in marketing, creativity. One thing I don't have, and if you definitely ask my 10-year-old daughter, is I have no rhythm and can't dance for anything. So I would love to be able to dance. That's something I never was able to do well or at all, and like I admire people that can do that.
It's interesting. I had a dinner party last Friday night and I asked these same questions, the three that are basically that I ask at the end of the show. If you give yourself advice, what talent would you like? And what was the final question? Not the final question, next to the last question. What was your epic culinary fail?
Okay. So it's the carrot cake disaster of 2009. I'm just married and I learned my husband's favorite dessert is carrot cake. And it's our first time entertaining. And I'm just like, great, I'm going to make a carrot cake with that cream cheese frosting. And I'm going to bring it it was a few months after we got married. It was August, it was his birthday. It's amazing. I had this great plan. And I follow the recipe seemingly. And then we have guests and I bring out the cake. And the whole time I was like, this isn't right. Something's wrong. Something's not right. Like when I brought out the oven, it like kind of like dented in. And I brought it to the table and I try to cut a piece and it's just like mush. And everyone's like trying to be like, oh no, it's great. I'm sure it tastes great. So I hand it around and my husband tries to eat the whole piece, but it's inedible. And he's like, what happened? Like, what is this cake? It's carrot cake. It's not even recognizable as carrot cake. I didn't put flour in, any flour. Not even too little. I just didn't put any flour in. So that is, and he, 3 months into our marriage, I think he ate half of it. He's like, I can't, it's inedible.
It would have been good for Passover.
So now I just buy that and I make it for him.
Yeah, like I said, it would have been good for Passover. Yeah.
Exactly.
Final question. What didn't I ask you that I should have?
Well, one thing I want to mention, maybe about the versatility of our products and why it means so much to us to bring versatility to the kosher consumer and beyond for anybody, is that we have our traditions and we keep our traditions, but kosher should never be limiting. I think kosher should be delightful and delicious. And I think seeking kosher, whether it's on Passover, whether it's with friends and family, it should always be just yummy and it should be joyful. And that is why we continue to innovate and we strive to bring new products every day to our customers.
And before I forget, for everyone, that links to Caico.com have floated up, Manischewitz.com and Kosher.com. And if you want to find the products, Amazon.com, and you were saying Passover.com, correct?
Yep. Correct.
So those are all the links. And, you're going to be around the corner from me. We should probably try to hook up. Are you in town for a couple of days?
Yeah, I'll be around for basically the week of Passover. It starts Friday night, and I think I'm leaving town Wednesday the next week. We're going to try to do some trips to Virginia as a family. I love Passover because I'm one of 4. We are all congregating in Maryland. You know, we live all over, and we're going to see my parents, and all our kids are going to get together. It's just any holiday that you celebrate when you can get together and see. That's what it's all about.
Right. So maybe we can do that. If we didn't mention it, Shani's a Baltimore girl, and so yeah, she's a Baltimore Hun.kosher. Hun.kosher. Shani, I want to thank you so much for being on the show and taking this much time during, the marathon of what's Pesach or Passover. So thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, really.
And if you're over on Willow Glen sometime soon and you want to just take a walk, I'm around the corner. Thank you so much, Shani. And I have a couple announcements to make, and a happy Passover to Shani if we don't connect. So all these great things to talk about. But before, we're talking about the holidays coming, whether you're Jewish or not Jewish. The world's in turmoil, and it's time to think about what we can do for others. The holidays are here, and we're going to be celebrating. And with all that's going on in the Ukraine, I have a pet charity and would like to recommend that you make a donation. Doesn't mean you have to. It's just a suggestion. World Central Kitchen, which was started by Jose Andres. They have been at so many sites where they were needed, hurricanes. They hit the ground running over in the Ukraine. World Central Kitchen is serving millions of fresh meals to Ukrainian families fleeing home, as well as the people remaining in the country. So the site is wck.org, World Central Kitchen. And if you want to do a nice little thing in reference to being together with your family on the holidays, think of making a donation to any of your charities. I'm recommending wck.org. Next week's guest is Baltimore's own national award-winning journalist, Rob Casper. For over 3 decades, he was a reporter, columnist, and editorial writer for the Baltimore Sun, often writing about the area's food and drink. In the fall of 2011, he left the newspaper to write Baltimore Beer, a satisfying history of Charm City brewing. Excuse me, losing my voice. The book, published by History Press in Charleston, South Carolina, is now in its 4th printing. In 2014, he wrote Baltimore Baseball and Barbecue with Big Pal, Stories from the Orioles' Smoky Slugger. He has won numerous writing awards, so do tune in. I am thrilled that I have convinced Rob to do an interview with me. And J More Living is hosting an aging program called Aging Gratefully. It's a free in-person event on Tuesday, April 26, 5 p.m. at the Gordon Center for Performing Arts. Exhibitors will offer giveaways starting at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Enjoy a moderated conversation about aging with gratitude, featuring experts on all aspects of aging. It isn't just for seniors, significant others, friends, and adult children are welcome, and they can experience the benefits as well. I can't even read my own writing. It's free, so you can register at jmoreliving.com, aging. You can always reach me at food@jmoreliving.com. My Instagram is @DaraCooks for a follow. The show's video will immediately be up on J More Living's Facebook page and website. Thank you for watching and sharing the show with friends and family. It helps the show grow and it keeps a roof over my head, so do share. So until next week, may your plates always, always remain full.